Hey, you right guys, Drift Munch's Joe here, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't think this will be too long of a video, but I wanted to kind of touch base with the TV tournament arc that we have going on over on my Instagram, and we've kind of done the first quarter of the entire table at the moment. Obviously, that will kind of go down in brackets, but in terms of all the shows for the first big round, we've done the first quarter, and I wanted to go through what you guys have voted for as the best shows when it comes to the 1v1s and see if I agree, disagree, or maybe disagree but understand why certain ones won, because there were one or two in there that I was like, how? How? And then there was plenty that I completely agreed with. So we're going to kind of actually go through your guys' opinions on TV shows for once instead of mine. We've got the second or the bottom left of the table ready to go. So that'll be starting tonight. So if you do want to join over on my Instagram, that'll be linked down below and you can vote. The first one we had was The Walking Dead versus The Vampire Diaries, and The Vampire Diaries won with 55% to 45%. Do I agree? Obviously, I've not finished The Vampire Diaries. I gave up with The Walking Dead. I think I got to the most recent season that they had, and then I was just kind of like, I'm out. I'm out with The Walking Dead. I think I will finish The Walking Dead because they obviously announced since then that the next season will be the final one. So I think I'll wait for when that's all aired and I'll jump in and watch the final season. I don't know. I think The Walking Dead seasons 1 to 6 are some of the best TV that I've seen. Not some of the best TV that I've seen, but it does have some really great quality moments, and The Vampire Diaries is a lot of fun. So I have no problem with this one. I would say I agree from what I've seen with The Vampire Diaries because it is a lot of fun. But The Walking Dead, I think, has the better characters, I'd say. But The Vampire Diaries has the better story because The Walking Dead is very much kind of like the same of like just surviving, which is fine. It's an apocalypse TV show, that makes sense. I have no problem with that one. You guys did well. And it was very close as well, to be fair. It was very, very close. Then we have Gilmore Girls versus This Is Us. This was the closest one. Gilmore Girls won by 1%. Obviously, for me, I've only seen 8 episodes of Gilmore Girls at the moment. But for me, obviously, I'd say This Is Us is better, but I've seen 4 seasons of that show at the moment. So I just think This Is Us is such a great story and great cast of characters, incredible acting. Gilmore Girls, from what I've seen, is a lot of fun. I think it has a lot of potential. But obviously, you have all seen all of Gilmore Girls, so you're going to know more than I am. It's not one that I can go like, oh, I disagree with this one, because personally for me, yes, I would have chosen This Is Us, but I've seen a lot more of the show, and I kind of wanted to make these like very different shows, so I understand that these are 2 completely different shows, but I felt like that would make more sense than just doing like, I don't know, 2 like Better Call Saul versus Breaking Bad, for example. It's like, which might happen at some point, who knows, but yeah, that was one that I don't have any issues with that, but it was very, very close. That was the closest one. This one, people were not upset about this, but people were like, how? How? The Wire lost to One Tree Hill by a big amount. One Tree Hill 71% and The Wire was 29%. I understand why. I actually agree as well, technically. I think when I started The Wire, season 1 for me, it was dragging. There was so many slow moments. I was not that into the show at all. And then I pushed myself to do season 2, and there was an episode in season 2, like I always say, there's that episode where a show clicks with me, and that happened in one of the episodes of season 2, so a lot later than I thought it would with The Wire. I think The Wire is a better made show. I think technically, and as I'm recording this, I'm on season 3, episode 4, or episode 3 of season 3, something like that, so I've not finished it yet. The Wire is technically a better made show, better acting, better cinematography, all the technical reasons of it. The Wire is a better show. But One Tree Hill is just so much fun. It's so much fun. If you're going off entertainment, for me, it's One Tree Hill at the moment. I know that's like blasphemy to say, but do keep in mind, I've heard that season 4 of The Wire is like one of the best seasons of TV ever. That's why I've stuck with it, because I wanted to see why it's renowned as one of the best shows of all time. So I've not finished it yet. I've not even finished One Tree Hill yet, but I've seen more of One Tree Hill. But it's like, I kind of look at it as like, if I was to react to one show or the other, I'd pick One Tree Hill just because you have such a good laugh with it. It's so ridiculous that you just have to enjoy the art that is One Tree Hill. But The Wire is technically a better show. Yeah, I don't have any issues with that one, as sad as it is to say, because The Wire is really good. Here, yes. New Girl destroyed Fruits Basket. I knew it would. New Girl's obviously way more popular than Fruits Basket is, and I know my audience isn't really watching anime for the most part, so it made sense. It was a little bit sad. I don't know. I agree with it. I've seen more of New Girl than I have Fruits Baskets. As I'm recording this, I've only just started season 2 of Fruits Basket. But it is a really good show. I do recommend it. It took a few episodes to get into it. But New Girl, it makes sense. I have a lot of fun with New Girl. And I was surprised by how much it destroyed it by. 85% to 15%. Wasn't even close. But I wanted to put some anime in there and Fruits Baskets. I thought might have stood a bit more of a chance than that. But yeah, I'm kind of dreading some ones where I like Toradora's on the list later on. And I know that's going to get shat on, which is going to make me sad, but it makes sense. Like I said, I know my audience don't watch anime typically. This one upset me, guys. This one upset me to my core. Why You versus Succession, and Succession lost? You know, Succession was against, like, I don't know, some cheesy, like, even One Tree Hill, to be fair. I'd kind of understand it a bit more, because I'm like, okay, yeah, One Tree Hill, it's like got a big fan base. You has a big fan base as well, I get it. That just upset me. I enjoy You. You is a good show. But Succession is possibly the greatest show that is airing on TV right now. I would argue. I'm not saying it's a great show of all time. I don't think that. But in terms of shows that are airing on TV currently, Succession is up there. It might not be the best, but it is up there because Better Call Saul's airing as well. So it's hard. But this upset me to my core. This is the first one that I strongly disagreed with. 58% to You, 42% Succession. I do understand that, and I'm aware that Succession is a lot less popular than You is, so that probably has a factor in it. And I think You is more easy to digest. But if you haven't watched Succession, give it a go, because I was kind of, when I started it, I was very much like, I'm not sure if this would be my kind of show, but I heard so many great things about it that I just kind of sat down and did it. And then it did take a while, to be fair. I think it was around episode 5 of season 1 where I was hooked when I was in it. The other 4 episodes are really good, but I feel like episode 5 is where you really kind of get what's going on, and you kind of in for what the show is trying to give you. So give Succession a chance, even if it looks like a show that you might not be into. Just try it. The dialogue, some of the best dialogue I've heard on TV. The acting's incredible, and I think they're the best qualities about it, because the story is really solid as well, but I don't think that's the best part about it. I think it is those primary characters. So and You is a fun show as well. I have no issues with You as a TV show. I think it is starting to get a little bit repetitive, so they've got to change it up for season 4, which I assume is coming out in probably November, December for season 4 of You. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, this one, Succession's out already, and it lost to You. I did get some DMs on Instagram that were like, "What, bro?" It's like, yeah, I agree. Trust me, but that's what the people wanted. And it was kind of close. So I'll take. At least it wasn't 90% You and 10% Succession. Better Call Saul versus Love, Death, Robots. Completely agreed with this one. 72% to Better Call Saul, 28% to Love, Death, Robots. I love Death, Robots. I mean, I've got The Witness up there. The Witness is still one of my favourite TV episodes that I've ever reacted to. I love that episode. And there's plenty of other episodes in Love, Death, Robots that I adore as well. But this one, Better Call Saul is just the better made show. The best spin-off ever made from what I've seen. Yeah, it's not really a competition for me with this one, but Love, Death, Robots did well. I was kind of sad to see it go out very early on, because I do really enjoy that show, but again, makes sense. So no issues with that one. You guys did well on that one. Heartstopper versus Ozark. This was very close. I remember throughout the day, Ozark would overtake, then Heartstopper. It was kind of swapping, and then it just kind of became clear that Heartstopper was going to win at a point. So, do I agree? I think I disagree with this one, but only slightly. I think Heartstopper we've only had 1 season of. A very well made season. Ozark we had 4 seasons. Obviously season 4 was the last season, but season 4 for me, I've not actually finished the show. I think I've got 5 or 6 episodes left. It's the episodes are an hour long, and I just feel like Ozark's it's ran its course. I think it should have been maybe 3 seasons. I don't know, because season 4 of Ozark is really good, but it just kind of feels like more of the same, and I'm glad they didn't go for a 5th season. So I will finish it at some point, but I think this is one of those that I disagree with, but also completely understand why Heartstopper won. So And again, it was very close, 53% to Heartstopper, 47% to Ozark. I just think Ozark seasons, I'd say 1 and 2 and 3. Seasons 1, 2 and 3 are just so strong. But Heartstopper, I think I just need to see more of. We're getting season 2 and 3, so that's good. I'm curious what they do with those seasons. And then we have Bridgerton versus Elite. Yes, so happy about this. Elite got shut down, gone, go away. Bridgerton with 76% and Elite with 24%. Completely agree with this one. Elite, I think seasons 1, 2 and 3, I'd say, were very solid. I think the characters were a lot of fun. I think the story knew how to have fun. I think the relationships were actually... You had ships in there that I shipped all throughout the whole season, and then seasons 4 and 5 of Elite, it completely lost that charm that it had, and the story's just repetitive now. You've ruined all the characters, and I reacted to was it season 5, the most recent one, like hoping that maybe 4 was just like kind of a one-off week season, but it wasn't. Season 5 was worse than 4. A lot of people disagreed with that, but yeah, I'm so done with Elite. I say that and I still might even react to season 6. What a few stinky seasons. And then Bridgerton knows what it is. Really fun show. Good cast of characters. Good romance. I think I definitely preferred season 2 to season 1 with Bridgerton. Season 2 was way better in my opinion. But that's more so because I was more into the relationship over the relationship of season 1. So I'm excited for season... I think as of recording this yesterday, they started production for season 3. So we should be getting that sometime next year, I'd assume. Yes, no issues with that one. You guys did well on that one. So only so far we have about 3 that I disagree with, but only 1 that I kind of like strongly disagree with. Everything else you've done well. Okay, we have Euphoria versus Arcane. This was sad. It's understandable, but it's sad. Euphoria was 78%, Arcane with 22%. It hurt. I disagree with this one. I think Euphoria season 1 could definitely go up against Arcane for me. Very, very close. I actually would give it to Euphoria if we were basing it off just the first season. But season 2 of Euphoria, not as strong as season 1. It's still good. I still really enjoyed season 2 of Euphoria, but not as strong as that first season. So for me, I think with season 2 involved, it kind of gives Arcane that edge. But again, we only have 1 season of Arcane, so it's hard to judge, I guess. But season 1 of Euphoria was incredible, though. So it is a tricky one. But it's one of those. It's like I do disagree with it. I think I definitely prefer Arcane, but I understand why Euphoria kind of won on this one. Yeah, I would definitely pick Arcane with that one, but it makes sense. Bye Arcane, went out too soon, gone too soon. Then we have Midnight Mass versus All of Us Are Dead. Midnight Mass lost, even with 39%. All of Us Are Dead with 61%. Again, completely disagreed with this one. Midnight Mass is amazing. An amazing TV show. It is a little bit slow at times, but the dialogue is so good. The horror is great. It takes its time with its characters. It's like it is just a lot of dialogue throughout the show. And then a few horror moments in there. It's like the same guy who did The Haunting of Hill House, for those who don't know. So I loved Midnight Mass, and it didn't get nominated for any Emmys, not even for like acting, which I was surprised by. The actor who plays the priest in that show is amazing. I'm shocked he didn't get nominated for an Emmy for that. But yeah, I definitely. And All of Us Are Dead is a good show, but I think it's one of those that just went on too long. The episodes were an hour, some were like an hour and 15. And it was 12 episodes. It should have been 8 and 50 minutes an episode. I think that would have been fine. But yeah, I'm still going to watch All of Us Are Dead season 2 because I did have fun with that first season. Yeah, I disagree with this one, I'm afraid. Midnight Mass was definitely better, but it's gone. Goodbye. Then we had Dexter versus Alice in Borderland. Dexter winning with 63%, Alice in Borderland 37%. So I agree with this one. Dexter does drop the ball in those final 2 seasons, but I think this one's a little bit hard because Alice in Borderland we've only had 1 season of, and I feel like it set itself up well to have a really good second season, which we're going to be getting in a few months actually, so we'll see how they do with the second season of that. Alice in Borderland though, I think like the first 2 episodes are okay, then the 3rd episode's incredible, and then the rest of the show's pretty good, so it's like a little bit of a, not slow start because it does get you into it very quickly, but I think it took a while for me to connect to the characters of Alice in Borderland. Whereas Dexter, I feel like just gets you gripped pretty much straight away. And Michael C. Hall, who plays Dexter, does an amazing job. Even in those last 2 seasons, which are kind of shitty, he's still very good as Dexter. So, yeah, I agreed with this one. Then we had Ted Lasso versus Stranger Things. Yeah, this wasn't even close. Ted Lasso actually did better than I thought it would with 21%. I thought it was going to be like a 90 to 10, but Stranger Things came in strong with 79%. I agree with this. Ted Lasso's, I'd say he's like a wholesome show. Has like a good message with each of its episodes, and yeah, the characters are enjoyable to watch. But Stranger Things, I think, is just on another level. Again, 2 very different genres, 2 very different shows, but I thought that'd be the fun part of it. And Stranger Things season 4, I think even without season 4, I'd still go with Stranger Things just because season 1 is so strong, and I enjoy seasons 2 and 3 as well. Ted Lasso, I think we've had 2 seasons of, so a bit less. I think Ted Lasso is easier to digest though. Like I think they're only 30-minute episodes, and then Stranger Things you get to with like that last season where you have 2.5 hours for the finale. It's like, oh my lord. But I think if you want to be put in a good mood, Ted Lasso is your go-to show. But Stranger Things is just the more entertaining, gripping show for sure. So I definitely agreed with that one. Then we had, bro, what the fuck? This was the one that I put up today, I think. Glee versus, last night. So Glee versus Sons of Anarchy, and Sons of Anarchy lost. This one hurt me. Yeah, Glee shouldn't be winning to anything. No, maybe it should be winning to like, I don't know, like The Big Bang Theory, I guess. No, seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Glee are actually very good. I can't deny that. They do have some really strong moments. Even season 4 does. But Sons of Anarchy is just a way better show, I think. Better characters. It doesn't make you physically ill watching the last few seasons. I do think there are bits of Sons of Anarchy that definitely drag out, and some storylines in there that are like, what are we doing here kind of thing. But it's 7 seasons, and I think it sticks to landing with the ending, I think. Like, again, it's kind of with All of Us Are Dead, where the episodes start to become like an hour to an hour and a half long per episode. It's like kind of like, okay, dragging out a bit here, but I think it makes use of that time in the last season. But then there were kind of, I think, like, I don't know if it's like the season before, and then there's like season 3 of Sons of Anarchy that are kind of but I wouldn't ever say those seasons of Sons of Anarchy are shit. I think they have good moments, whereas Glee, I'd say seasons 5 and 6 are pretty, especially 5, are shit. So I'd put Sons of Anarchy above Glee on this one, but again, I kind of get why. Glee has a way bigger fan base. Sad to see it go, but there we go. American Horror Story versus Outer Banks. American Horror Story winning with 58% versus 42%. I agree with this one, I think. Yeah, I definitely agree with this one. Because I think the bad moments of American Horror Story are way worse than the bad moments of Outer Banks. Like, Outer Banks is ridiculous. I genuinely get pissed off watching Outer Banks and watching the decisions that these characters make, but it's enjoyable throughout. I think it knows what it is, I want to say, with Outer Banks. I don't know, sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but I think it knows what it is. Whereas American Horror Story, like, the high highs are way better than the highs of Outer Banks, but the low lows are way worse than the lows of Outer Banks. So I'd give American Horror Story the edge simply because of seasons 1, 2, 3, and the 1974 one, whatever that one was. I think those 4 seasons, especially those first 3, are so strong. Not so strong. I'd say season 2 is incredible. Seasons 1 and 3 are really good. But then there's like some stinky seasons in there. Whereas Outer Banks we only had 2 seasons of. And it's a good show. It's a good show. I wouldn't say it's not doing anything outstanding, but I think it knows that, and that's fine. It's okay to have a show like Outer Banks in and to just sit down and enjoy it, but I do agree with that one. Then we have Squid Game. I think this is the last one. Yeah, last one that we put up last night, which was Squid Game versus Sex Education. 2 big Netflix shows. So, yeah. And then Sex Education won 73% versus 37%. The percentages might be actually different on Instagram. if you check on the, what do you call it, the highlight reel, because I'm doing this 2 hours before the poll actually wraps up. So, but I think it's pretty clear which ones are going to win with these ones. So, Sex Education 63%, Squid Game 37%. I completely agree with this. I think Squid Game's a really great show, and I'm actually excited for season 2. I don't think season 2 is necessary, but obviously it was going to get a second season with how popular this show became. But Squid Game has some really incredible moments, and then some kind of downish moments, like I say, with the VIPs. That was just awful. It really was bad. But Sex Education just is banger after banger after banger all the way through. If Ruby and Otis aren't a thing in season 4, though, I'm going to cry. But no, the characters and the messages that they give with Sex Education, I just think hit harder. And the characters, the connections they have with each other, even just like friendships and the romances as well. I adore it. It's my favourite Netflix show. So obviously I was going to pick Sex Education over Squid Game. But again, two very different shows. I mean, Squid Game, you got people falling to their death on a regular basis and heads being exploded, shot in the face, and then Sex Ed is just like Otis being a nerd virgin. Yeah, I agree with this one. And it was actually kind of a fair percentage, I think, 63%. It wasn't like one destroyed the other. So yeah, that's all the polls that we have at the moment. Like I say, the ones I strongly disagree with is Succession and You. Arcane versus Euphoria, I'd say Midnight Mass and All of Us Are Dead, I definitely disagree on. And Glee and Sons of Anarchy. But other than that, they're all ones that I would change. Like I say, This Is Us, I'd pick over Gilmore. And what was the other one? Ozark, I would pick over Heartstopper. But those ones I don't have an issue with. I'm kind of like, I get why. Even like One Tree Hill versus The Wire, it's like, I understand. I would actually agree with that one, to be fair, as well. So everything else, I'd say you guys did pretty well on. I don't have any issues with the other ones. So for the most part, good job. That Succession one, though, that was the one that hurt the most. That just, I don't know, that was like a knife was twisted into my heart with that. But it's fine. I'll get over it. I'll cry myself to sleep. It's fine. So yeah, like I say, if you do want to join in on I'll do this video. I'll do a part 2 to this if you guys enjoy it, for the kind of second, third, and fourth of the bracket, and then I'll do one probably at the end when we've kind of completed it. So it would make this like a 5-part series or something. If you guys want that. If not, then whatever. I won't bother. But I do have my ultimate TV show tier list that will be out on this Sunday, I think, actually. This Sunday, my TV tier list. So you can see my rankings for every TV show that I've ever watched. That is like an hour per part, and I've only done 3 parts so far, so that's going to be a long one. But we've got to go into detail on these shows. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Instagram will be down below if you do want to join in. And if not, I'll see you for part 2, and you can see where everyone landed on that. So until then, take care. Peace.